What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den, well, I apologize for the loud vent. I don't know how much of it y'all can hear. It sounds a little bit different to me with the headphones on. Welcome to the Den. Like I said, the best conversation on the internet. The reason why I feel like it's the best conversation on the internet is because of all of you wonderful people who make the Den conversation so very interesting each and every night. Still thinking about some calls from the other day. But anyway, I'm Ed Honcho again. It is my honor and my privilege, but most of all, it's my pleasure to get to be here with y'all. Make sure you're following. If you want the Den updates, the Twitters, the Gram, Ed Honcho HTX on both of those, and Den Show Live on Facebook. All the links are in the description below to anything you need to know Den Show related. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new. And whatever time you may be watching this, whenever in the future, maybe, hopefully. But let's see who we have joining us, and we're going to get into a very interesting topic to me. I've heard opinions on both sides, and that is, should people stay together for the kids? Now, I think we're probably talking about a percentage of people here, because I don't think, again, most people are together with kids. I won't say most aren't, but a lot aren't. So I think that this should be a very interesting perspective, interesting conversation, depending on what perspective or how people are raised or whatever you want to call it. I think there'll be some interesting views on this one. But let's see who we have joining us, and then let's get into some good conversation. Here's what I have for the early birds. I know some of y'all came in much earlier. I have Jason S. I have Miss K. Grace and Miss M. Grace, being graced by the Graces very early today. Mr. Coltrane, a.k.a. the Don of the Discord. Miss Slick Whips came by very early. Miss Jess Sarah. I see Mr. 335 in the building. I see Miss Bell in the building. I see John from New York, my favorite New Yorker. I see Sweetberry 32's here. Everybody guard your pistachio. As a matter of fact, let me actually make sure the body's all right. While I'm doing all this trash talking. And then Mayor Lightfoot's cousin Rashida Reed is in the building. And let me see whose name did I forget to write down already. Let me see. What name did I forget to write down? I see sometimes I have these points where my handwriting is very, very bad. I'm not even sure what name that is that I wrote down. That's terrible. It'll come back to me later. I see Heidi, the boy 17 in the building. Miss Jen Smith, how are you this evening? Cartier, how are you this evening? Eastside Hero, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. I'm really trying to figure out whose name I wrote there, because it's gonna bother me for a second. Let me see. I have no idea whose name I wrote right there. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I freaking do. Strong and Grand. I put all the words in one. I was just trying to remember. Okay. Dan the Man. Okay, because it came up early, then it disappeared. I'm sitting here just like, what the fuck? What name is going to fuck with me? Shout out to Dan the Man. And as an early bird. And let me see. I think we're good. So there's that. What the hell? You're a terrible person, Heidi. You're the worst person ever. I'm doing very good, Miss Jen. Thank you for asking. So Heidi, top mod. It's 2020. We haven't voted on mods or anything like that. We didn't have any Den awards or had any sauce awards either. I gotta get on that. I gotta get on that real soon. I guess it would make more sense to do that around like the anniversary time, I guess, so to actually remember. I don't know. But let's get into it. So what I want to talk about, like I said, is, if you're in a relationship with someone, and things are maybe not as good as they once were. Maybe, you had some kids, and maybe the kids became the problem. That would be, sounds like a terrible thing to say, right? But hey, it just, it may be what it is. The gun show will be back in town. It comes around every other weekend or so. So, you miss it once, you won't miss it twice. It's a 22. Pew, pew, pew. Oh my God! But you know, sometimes people decide, hey, we got a family structure here. We're ingrained in the community. Maybe it's just best that we stick it out a few more years and get it over with and done with, and then we go our separate ways once the kids are grown and they can handle it, right? Maybe some people feel like it's best for the image that they portray, or whatever you want to call it. Some people say, hell no, oh hell no, fuck no, we gotta get this shit over with right now. Don't give a damn what you think, what the kids think, or anybody else who's involved. And I see both sides, right? And yeah, shout out to Jay's Portraits, man. That shit was super dope. If y'all did not notice that I changed all the damn profile pictures. Let me see this one right here. That is artwork done by Mr. Jay's Portrait himself. A very talented gentleman. That my friend is the culture. So my thing is, like, I see both sides of the argument, right? And I think I think it's better to not stay together for the kids. I know people can talk about image, and I guess maybe I'm seeing it from a different perspective because, I guess to some people, image is everything, right? And maybe that has something to do with your political standings or your, however you parlay within the community, or I guess so. Different classes may have different looks on this. But the reason why, well, again, I guess every situation is special. But let's just say, if it's a tense situation, and there's a lot of hostility, anger, like I said, tension in the air, the kids will pick up on stuff like this. And I think that does actually more damage than it does benefit. Now, if you can be amicable and, however y'all work everything else out, I think ideally, I guess that may provide better structure. I don't know. That's what I say. It's to me, so I say I can see both sides of it. I'm not sure which one I'm 100% sold on. Again, I think it depends on which situation and what's really fully going on. So if it's tension, and usually I would think there would be some type of tension if you are kind of with somebody you don't want to be with anymore. And again, depending on if how it's ended, maybe you just fell out of love, maybe something happened, and again, it could be a lot of things, but you're trying to put the kids first. So I can see it. And so that's why I want to know tonight, your personal thoughts on should a people stay together or stay in a relationship for the sake of the children, or is it best if they just split up, when things have gone awry? And I know there's multiple layers to this because, you can talk about, if it's marriage and you talk about balancing two homes, fees, funds. Is it better for the kid to have one home, not, somebody not trying to spread money across two households? More could go to the child if that is the goal. Like I said, I think there's a lot of levels to it. So I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how y'all feel about that. Something else happened today. Something happened today, and I can't remember what it was. Or at least I came across the story today, and I meant to talk about it. I guess I should have jotted it down. Somebody somewhere did something stupid, so that's usually how it goes, right? So, sorry about that. My thing is, no, it wasn't mine first. It was mine kitten or something like that. You didn't realize kids it was the devastating kid. Yeah, that's what I say. I think there's a lot of different things that could go into it. That could, you got to weigh the pros and the cons. Are they better equipped to handle it as adults? or just raise some weak ass kids and they can't handle this adults either, right? But give me a second. Let me get the line open here. We'll take some calls. Um, so here's what happened. Well, one thing that happened, right? So I had been waiting on some mugs, some new mugs to come through. I was trying a different service for some mugs. Sometimes people ask me about the other ones. And I ordered these mugs at the end of May. No, sorry, not May, March. The end of March. And they just arrived today. Like I said, they were in Chicago for like 2 weeks. Now, I don't know if I put the design in wrong, but from, the mock-up which I was sent, maybe I looked at it the wrong way or something. Uh, very disappointed, and the reason why is because everything would have been good, but it's got like this black matte finish over everything, so it's like you can't even see like the damn logo or anything on it. So yeah, I was kind of annoyed. I had to wait a month for that, and it didn't come out that good. So I gotta say, I think I probably did wrong, but I gotta go back and double check and see. So there's that. But yeah, that had nothing to do with anything, but just a story, I guess. To get cancel Amazon Prime, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I've been hearing. Like, I think I canceled mine the last one because they had a couple of packages that were starting to take a couple of days, but. I heard it was getting worse, or that they, because they stopped using their own little delivery vehicles. Did the bot not come on? It should have been on. Huh. Because it didn't. I thought I cut it on. It didn't do it. She is a denizen, quietly in the corner, but she is a denizen nonetheless. Give me one moment. Let me as I'm getting this here. What is the? Oh, I need to do that too. There's something that happened. There's a story that needs to be talked about, and I can't tell you what it is for the life of me. I can't think about it. There's one. I plan on doing a video about it, but let me see. Yeah, the UFO thing is crazy. I didn't watch the UFO video, but let me see. Oh yeah, the bot should be working now. But like I said, I didn't watch the UFO video, but I heard about it, and that's kind of crazy that they would put something out, with everything going on, and it seems like almost, I wouldn't say nonchalantly, but stuff that people inquire about all the time, and then they just kind of drop it in the midst of all this other stuff, and it's almost like a non-story. Everything should be good. Oh, well, thank you, Miss M. Grace. I appreciate you becoming a member. And no, for those of you, honestly, like right before the stream, I was like just waking up. It had to take me like a power nap today. And I was fighting it like right before bed. Well, not before bed, but trying to get up. I was fighting. I had to take a power nap. I'm an old man. I'm not as young as I used to be. So. But I've been getting up relatively early, and I'm getting tired as of late. But I'm sure what do they call it? They call it not the freshman 15. They had one name for the quarantine. They call it something the quarantine 50 or something like that. There we go. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Dan, bro.
Dan, the motherfucking man with the plan. What's on your mind, Dan? How are you just doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. I'm kind of laughing at everything, man. I've gone from like being depressed about this to like anxious and like, it's funny. It's funny at this point now. Now there's UFOs. It feels like that's a distraction, the UFO thing. Like, hey man, it's UFOs, man. Hey, don't worry about this other shit. Don't worry about you lost your goddamn job or this other fuck ass shit. Yeah, UFOs. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they giving niggas jobs?
Yeah, so the aliens might be hiring.
Giving niggas, right? Yeah. Are they curing diseases? Or are they attacking us? If they ain't doing any of that, I don't give a fuck right now. I don't care. Yes, this is Dan. How you doing, Grace? And you actually corrected me at a good point on the subject of staying together for the kids. Sometimes it's done for financial reasons. Sometimes it's you want to keep a stable family unit until the kids get old enough. He's around 16, 17, 18 when they should be mature enough to understand. My parents tried that, you know. They stopped when I was 12, and I'm glad they were because they were extremely volatile towards each other. And we witnessed a lot of that, and it shaped some of my thoughts and feelings on relationships, you know. But I was glad about one thing. They stood long enough to get us out the hood. My mom became an RN, a registered nurse, and my dad worked many, many hours at the shipyards, you know. So they busted our ass to get us out the project. And I thank them for doing that, because it got me in a position where I was able to focus more on my education, and besides all the fuck niggas in school. I mean, you just can't avoid that, you know. It is what it is. And, my bad, let me like the video. Okay, there you go. Hit that like button, y'all. Yeah, man, yeah, you're right, man. It's in the situation. I mean, personally, I don't think it's a good idea. But the fact that, you know, they didn't abandon us, as messed up as they were, they didn't abandon us, you know, which, I mean, I think about my father, and his father wasn't there. So this whole issue of, like, black fathers not being there, it wasn't just this generation or before. That was happening before then, too. Because my dad's dad was a piece of shit, and I'm glad he's dead. I'm going to keep that shit real. And, you know, I have no respect for men who abandon their responsibilities. My dad didn't, and I appreciate him every day for doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, if it's volatile like my family was, man, I don't think I have to stay together, bro. But if y'all just don't like each other and, you know, y'all trying to fuck other, you know, have sex with other people, whatever, then okay, do what you got to do. You know, I don't care. It's not my penis. I don't care. No. But yeah, Heidi, you're right. You know, yeah, divorce does lead to bringing random people into relationships and shit. And my mom did a bit of that. After her and my dad got separated, she had random niggas around us. Luckily, none of us got molested, but we got into arguments with these dudes who were not our father. Shit like that. You can't be having random niggas around, yeah, mom's boyfriends, exactly. You can't be having random dudes. This is white, black, Jewish, Chinese, whatever. You having random dudes around your kids, bro. That shit made no sense. But my mom had a very fucked up life, so I see why she was doing what she was doing. It was still wrong in my opinion. And I'm telling all my business. I don't care. If I was to die tonight, at least you know who the fuck I was, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I just don't care. It is what it is. And I ain't running for no politics, no political office, none of that fucking shit. I just want a decent job, get this paper up. That's it. I don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. So it is what it is. But I don't think you stay together for the kids if it's volatile. So not the Chinese thing. John, man, I love John, man. But no, man, look, bro, just whatever is the situation that's least violent and upsetting for the kids, then I recommend that. You know. Or you just say, fuck them kids. I know a lot of parents just say, look, fuck them kids. I got this hot thing over across the town. You know, some parents just say, fuck them kids, bro, and it is what it is, and you just got to deal with it.
Yeah. And that, to me, that's the worst. The ones who really don't give a shit, you know, even if they do split or whatever situation may be, and they just I don't know, I've just seen some off-the-wall shit, and it's just like,
yeah,
there's a point where, you know,
fuck them kids.
Yeah, you really don't give a shit, don't give a fuck that they got them, it's all about them, you know, the kids are just, you know, there, so it's just an unfortunate situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just fortunate that my parents at least had enough sense to try to be amicable to, you know, as much as possible. It got to a point where it was really bad, man. So I'm just glad they separated when they did. You know, it is what it is. I mean, marriage is a dissolving concept.
Eastside Harold donated $2 through Super Chat. Hair hats always bring strangers around their kid.
I'm expecting that. It's when a family stays together, that's rare to me. You know, yeah, it really is. A family that's actually functioning. You can have families stay together and back said trying to keep up with the Joneses, like you were mentioning. Look, man, fuck the Joneses, because half the time they broke, the other half they're dysfunctional as shit. Don't keep up with the motherfuckers. Fuck the motherfuckers. Fuck that.
Maybe that's the part of the problem, you know, trying to maintain these images for people again. And like I said, you don't even really know what they got going on. And you're trying to portray something you think they have, and it's like I say, everybody. It's you know, if people worry more about themselves, I think things would be a lot better. But you know, or at least you know, it's just a crazy situation. We worry about the kids at least, you know. But, you know, so okay.
Yeah, man. But can you hear me good? Because I know sometimes when I call in, it's like I'm up to the mic, like, I don't know, I'm just like making everyone deaf. And other times it's like I'm far away, like I'm doing right now. I can barely hear it. It's weird. I got like a weird headset thing.
That's clear to me. So I mean, I'm not sure how it sounds to anybody, but I mean, it sounds, usually if it's pretty clear to me, I think it's pretty clear to everybody else. So you should be good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, East Side Hero. Yeah, man. Look, I'm not trying to get into the black woman tonight, bro. I'm gonna leave it alone. Ooh, boy, some of these females in general are bringing some random dudes around their kids. Like I said, I had experience with that. Luckily, none of us got molested or beaten up, but we've had arguments with these dudes trying to act like they're our father. Nigga, you ain't my father. Yeah. So that's shit. And it's insane, bro. But yeah, some of these kids do get raped, do get murdered, do get beaten. This happens. So, look, if you're going to separate, your kids have to be number one priority. That has to happen. But that's all I really got to say about that, man. Besides telling them my personal business, just, man, look, if y'all stay together, as long as ain't no one hitting anybody, and, you know, just, because, I mean, you can stay together for the looks, but, I mean, look at, and I'm going to bring him up again, look at Andrew Gillum. That dude, his wife was, his beard. I mean, that story makes me laugh, because he was taking pictures with Obama. They were propping him up. He was like a running mate possibly for when Hillary was supposed to, in 2016, all this shit going on. If he had made governor, I think Florida dodged a bullet there. You'd have had a meth, well, not the first meth head, but he had a meth head in office down there in Florida. And, you know, they dodged a bullet, you know. But he'll go to church and act like get saved, and, you know, he'll pray the gay away, you know, and then all that other fake-ass shit. The story continues. It's all the same old shit, bro.
What was going to happen with him and his old lady ended up splitting up, so I'm wondering how that whole story. I wonder if they'll pay her to get back with him, you know, make sure they put the picture back together, you know, for the people. But we'll see.
Man, I ain't going to phase that shit no more, man. Look, these dudes out here, bro, man. I don't want to say no more. No, I give up, man.
I feel you, bro.
I don't know, man. Bye. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, but I'm saying I agree. Like I said, you know, you want to try to do what's best to give the I want to say give the appearance of a stable home to the kids. But here's a question I have. So even if you do stay together, kids get a little bit older. You may not have quite decided to split it up. Do you talk to the kids and kind of have them understand what's really going on, or do you feel like if they're old enough to understand what's going on, they're old enough to handle parents being divorced?
Well, I think you shouldn't shield your kids from realities. You shouldn't do that. Because when you went, and this kind of happened to me a little bit, I was shielded from a bit of reality when I was younger, due to our childhood being violent for a time being. And when I went to college the first time, let me tell you something. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was such a lame, bro. I still am, but I appreciate the lameness because I save money, I stay at the house. I let y'all wild niggas have fun and parties and herpes and whatever y'all doing. I don't care.
The gift that keeps on giving.
And giving, yes. You know, I wasn't ready for all this shit going on and how you had basically live your own life. You know, I was used to, you know, talking to mom or dad about something, but mom and dad ain't there for you. You gotta live your own life, you know what I'm saying? So you should shield kids from reality. Now, I don't have kids, so what my niece and nephews, my brothers, how they raise their kids is how they raise their kids. The only time I step in is they need someone to babysit, and that is it. Or if they need a little help with something. You know I got them, I love them. But I mean, that's it. I ain't telling them how to raise their kids. So, I mean, I don't think you should shield kids from reality. That's not a good idea ever. Ever. But that's all I got to say about that, man. It's been 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and hang up. And someone else want to call and do your thing. Have fun.
All right, well, man, Dan and man, I appreciate you calling in, getting the party started this evening. You might have gave me a future topic there about shielding kids from reality. Something we might have to talk about in the near future. But I appreciate the call, man.
I'll say this before I leave. Look, whatever you don't reveal to your kids about this world, someone else will. I promise you that.
Okay.
That's how I learn sometimes. You have a good night, man. Hey, look, man. I was about to say some shit. Never mind. Y'all be easy, man.
All right, Dan. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, y'all stay safe. Watch your hands.
Oh man. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
It's Belle. I can actually keep this pretty short and sweet tonight.
Okay, what you got?
The more toxic it is, the more that people need to split.
Mm.
You know, if they can, if it's amicable and if there's no toxicity and they're doing it for finances and kids, then that's okay. But the other thing is I think parents have their kids way too much in their adult relationships too. And what goes on between parents is parents' business. When kids are kids, they need to not have to worry about their parents taking care of them. Now, until they actually move out, they're still in the house. And I can say this with some experience. The summer before my dad died, when I was 14, my parents...
Eastside Herald donated $2 through Super Chat. We need some Den folks masks.
Eventually they were going to try to get divorced, than them living in the house for the summer and then getting back together again. And the fact is that they never really wanted a divorce. They just needed to work some shit out. So it just depends on how toxic the two adults are in the relationship. You know, this isn't bash one person or the other. And if you've got one parent that's not treating the children right, then yeah, it's time to walk away and take care of the kids. But you started out getting married and having kids for that very reason, then there's going to be
Just Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat. Just tell the kids they get another set of parents.
No, you don't want to do it.
Nope. And the thing is if you invested having kids, that's going to be a commitment that you and your partner are going to be together for the rest of your life. As adults, we have to deal with the toxicity between the two people in the relationship, but that's not the kid's fault. That's not a financial problem. That's between the two adults supposed to be being adults. You know? And if one person is going off in a lifestyle that the other person can't handle, it's time to split up. But it doesn't mean it needs to be, you know, all like I said, the more toxic it is, the quicker that they should get away from each other. And that's kind of pretty much all I have a feeling on that opinion about it. You know, because most of the time, in the long term of it, marriage is as much about partnership as it is about a lot of other things. Sex isn't the last thing on the list, but as the longer you're together, the lower it gets as a priority. It doesn't mean it shouldn't be something, but it's more about how the couple communicates with one another. And bringing your kids into it does the worst thing.
Just Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat. Is Ms. Bell still on the line? Thoughtful face, thoughtful face, sleeping face, sleeping face, thoughtful face. Thoughtful face, sleeping face, sleeping face, sleeping face.
That you're in with somebody. And if you can't tolerate it and, you know, for financial reasons you have to stay, then grow up and be an adult about it and just keep your mouth shut and do what you got to do. But don't bring your kids in it until it's time to separate the household. Dan said something earlier, too, about... and I can't remember exactly what he said because I was thinking about what I wanted to say. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I think you kind of covered the full basis of what I had in mind right now so far, so no, I don't think I have any other additional questions.
Yeah, and I personally believe that. And like you know, that I was married for a really long time, and I'm not going to tell you there weren't ups and downs. I'm not going to tell you there weren't times that I thought about divorcing his ass, and I'm sure he did mine. But when you look for the greater good, and you can stay for that, then it works itself out. It's just, don't be toxic with each other, because that's right among raising your kids, and that's not healthy. I'm good.
Well, as y'all know how it goes, the bell has rung and class is in session. Ms. Bell, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us this evening.
I need to kind of call somebody. Is it righteous? Righteous? It's not bullshit. That's some simp BS that she's saying. No, it's not. Unless I'm misreading it and he's talking about somebody else.
No, I'm not sure.
John's off the deep end.
Look,
and
see,
I'll leave it at that. Huh?
I'm laughing at something Miss Jen said. Okay. And I'm not sure Royce is who exactly he was referring to, but
yeah, that's the hard part about being on the line and looking at things. You can't always get the whole scope because sometimes things will go on for a while. All right, I'm good and can't wait to hear the rest of the calls for the night.
all right. Well, thank you for calling in, Miss Bell, and you have a good evening.
You too.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep.
Shout out to Miss Bell. Shout out to Eastside and shout out to Jess here. Appreciate the super chat love. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's good, Honcho?
Dakota, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this evening, Mr. Dakota, sir?
Nothing much. I ain't got much to say on the topic, but I will say this. It is never a good idea to stay with the person for the kids. I don't give a fuck what the reason is, if it's for money, if it's to have a family structure, I don't give a shit. Because you could do all that and be separated. You end up scarring your kids, and I'm speaking from experience, bro. Like my mom used to pay us, literally pay us to leave the house so her and my dad could fight. We used to come home to fucking broken glass, goddamn bullet shells everywhere. After a while, we just got tired of it. We got used to it, stepping over bullet shells and broken glass, going upstairs to our room. Like, man, fuck you. These niggas kill each other, they kill each other. That's how we felt about it after a while. So, man, that you fuck your kids' mental state up. Me and my brother hated our dad for a long time until we understood what was really going on. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my mom. My mom was one of the best people I've ever fucking met. But in relationships, she's a fucking terrible person. And this is what she had the same problem with my daddy, who she was married to for over 20 years. She had the same problem with two of her boyfriends after she left my dad. And at some point I had to realize, like, mama, you fucked up. There's something wrong with you, bro. But my dad ain't no better because, you know, when he was with my mama, now I don't hate my dad for defending himself, but it was a level to this. It was a level to this shit where he could have just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gone, instead of saying for us, because he could have been a dad without us. My parents didn't separate till I was 17. So, you know, I got a very violent past. I watched my dad beat up niggas. I watched my mom shoot me. I watched them shoot at each other. All because they were unhappy with the person they were with. They literally hated coming home to each other. Like my daddy loved my mama, but at the same time, that should have taken a mental effect on a person. He started to wild out. He got on drugs. I watched my daddy smoke a whole zip and wild the fuck out and slap the shit out of my mama. All because they hated each other. They didn't want to be in the same room next to each other. So no, that shit, no. I don't give a fuck what the reason is. Social status, whatever your reason is, that shit is wrong and you end up fucking your kids up.
So you say you just, when you know it's done, no matter what the kids are involved or not, it's just best to go ahead and call it a wrap.
Yes, that's the best way because, like I said, you put your kids in a mental state that some never recover from. Can I say me and my siblings are fully recovered? No. But I can tell you we're a lot better off than what we were. And then even with my situation, my kids and my baby mama. Well, my children's mother, because she's not exactly a baby mama. She do some old shit, but not to the level of other baby mama. So she's my children's mother. But anyway, like, it got to a point with her that she was hitting me while I was holding my daughter. And I'm like, this motherfucker is threatening to hit my child to get to me. What kind of danger am I putting my child in? And then I found myself about to swing on her while she was holding my daughter. So I'm like, nah, man, I can't put my child through this. So I left her mom alone. This was over 11 years ago. My daughter 11 now. I ain't been with her mama since she was 3 months old. And this was the, you know, that's the type of shit I wanted to avoid, because I didn't want my daughter coming home seeing her dad beat up on her mom, and seeing her mom beat up on her dad, and then, you know, get some type of mental issues about seeing her dad and her mom fight all the time. And don't get me wrong, like, I got a love in my heart for my children's mother, because she gave me something no other woman could, and that was my first best friend, my daughter. Like, my daughter is my best friend. I can talk to my daughter about anything. She can talk to me about anything. But, you know, she knows I'm dad, and my dad ain't gonna do nothing to hurt. And that's including stay with her mom. She told me, she was like, sometimes I wish you were with my mama, but I see y'all relationship. Y'all don't get along. So I was like, maybe it's a lot about that situation you don't know. And I never want you to hate your mama, and I never want you to look at me some type of way, but it just wasn't, me and your mama just didn't work. And that is what it is. I love her, I love you, but I love my wife more. I love you more than my wife, and Sadie, we're gonna leave it at that. She said, okay, Daddy, that's what's up. And shit, we have fun to this day. So I think it's better to separate and raise your kids than to stay together and fuck them up.
I can understand that. Yeah, I think that does make a lot of sense. I mean, the problem is, you know, you're supposed to try to protect your kids, keep them out of harm's way, seeing, you know, certain crazy things. But if the crazy shit is happening within the household, and shit, they trapped in there with the shit. So yeah, I agree. You know, it's probably better to, in a situation that's toxic, it is better to you know, just eradicate the whole situation.
Exactly.
All right,
But like I said, I ain't had too much to say on the situation. That's my call. Fuck with y'all later.
All right, appreciate the call there, Mr. Dakota.
No problem.
All right, okay. So, now, then I think, and again, I agree with kind of what I said too earlier, is just that when it's toxic, you gotta end that thing. Like, you cannot have kids in a volatile situation. It's, if you're gonna stay together, hopefully it's for some reason of stability. Like I say, even if you are put on the act, keeping up with the Joneses, or how Mr. Dan said, like, you know, some people feel like that's necessary. That's for whatever reason. You know, a lot of politicians are playing that game, but if it's just like I say, if it's violent, even if it's verbally abusive, I think you got to get kids out of that situation. And the reason why I say that is because then, you know, especially depending on how young, you know, that it's been long and how long it's been going on, kids will think that's what they need, or that's how relationships are supposed to go. And so it's not only will they feel, you know, a particular way towards their parents, but, you know, they'll end up in relationships similar to that themselves, because they'll think that's, you know, how things are supposed to be done. So, and Miss Wilson, appreciate the love. Let me see. Where was I? Oh, but you're talking about the kids and put them in those bad situations, like, and you wonder why the cycle continues because again, I think that's part of the problem with a lot of people. Is that a lot of people have kind of grown up in homes that were not the most stable. And I think that some people like that can get into a perfectly fine relationship where there aren't those levels of toxicity, where people aren't talking to them crazy, treating them crazy, or anything like that. But because they don't have that dysfunction going on, like they don't understand. Like I think it fucks with them. I think it makes people backwards. Like I think there are people who cannot be in a quality, stable, non-violent relationship because they were so used to dysfunction their whole life. They think something is wrong. If everything is too calm, if everything is just too normal, like they don't know how to respond. Like they think something's fucked up, or they're going to create a situation. So it's a bad deal. Absolutely. Shout out to Dan the man. Okay, Miss Slick Whips. Well, appreciate the love, Miss Slick Whips. Thank you so very much. Absolutely, and I agree. Hurt people do hurt people. That's a perfect saying because you see the cycle continue.
Strong and Grand donated $5 through Super Chat. Hurt people hurt people.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I say. I think that's the most important thing. And I guess that's kind of, maybe the kind of the gist of what we're trying to get to in the sense of, because what kids see when they're young does have an impact on them. Regardless of what some people may or may not believe. And if you're raising, Miss Grayson put the Den Folk mask. I'm trying to catch up and sometimes I'm trying to avoid looking at the chat because what was Eastside to put the Den Folk? Okay, there you go. National. Okay. Eastside, appreciate the love, Eastside. My little thing because it keeps track of all the stuff. We got all mixed up for a second. Yeah, definitely need some Den Folk mask. It'd be like a secret society. But yeah, man. So again, like I said, I find it fucked up. Like to me, it ain't a whole lot where, if it involves an adult, I don't give too much of a shit. They're grown. Figure that situation out. But when it comes to kids, the youth, like younger adult, like when you're in that situation where you're either born to a situation when you didn't ask to be, even none of us asked to be. Some of us just, had more benefits than others. And you're born to a situation where it's just fucked up. Like those are people I genuinely, honestly feel bad for because I do believe the way you get your start is significant in life, and it's not just about money per se, but it's about the character of the people who raised you. And I think that's more important than money because if you're raised with the right traits, everything else comes along with it. But there's so many people who are just born into fucked off situations, and it's almost like they're almost like animals, man. And I hate to say it for lack of a better word. I was looking at something came up on the fucking Facebook timeline earlier, and it was a kid, fucking 14 years old, man, and all he wants to do is go to school and fight. Like he talks about how he plans on how he's gonna get into his next fight the next day. He just, ain't got shit going on, just trying to find other kids like pick up. Not necessarily a bully, I guess we could say, but I don't know. The word bully is such a weird thing to me. But and then they asked him, well, hey, what happens? He was high or something. He was like, what happens when you get caught selling drugs or whatever this is? You get caught with a knife or you stab somebody, shoot somebody. You get 50 to 100 years. So let's say you 14 now and you get 60 years in jail. How much time is that? And when I say this, the little dude struggled. Like he never answered the question. Like nobody even dumbed it down for him. With like, what's 60 plus 10? And like never had like, he's like, I don't even know. Like that bothers the fuck out of me. And that's not a failure of the school system. That's a failure of the parenting, most definitely. And when you say, well, you should be able to target those problems. Well, kids spend a lot of time at home, and you can't save everybody. So it's always going to be a lot of those that slip through the cracks. And so that's why I figured, it's important. This is one of the things, a lot of times people have bad relationships going on at home, and that impacts the kids. It could be a whole litany of other shit, drug use, alcohol abuse. It could be just fucked up situation. You just never know, That's why you try never to assume anybody's situation. You just never know what they're really fucking dealing with. Where does Heidi go once the stream start? Back in her chamber to power up. Paper rock scissors. Some Den nightgowns. That might not be a bad idea. The whole get the little eye thing. Just a whole little set. But yeah, man. Like I say, we're just in a situation. We're Fleming today. 1 second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What up, what up?
Hello, Mr. D Love. How are you this evening?
Doing all right, Honcho. How y'all doing?
I can't speak for everybody in the den, but I'm doing well, and hopefully everybody else is doing well too. Do you think people should stay together, stay in relationships for the sake of the children?
Do I think two couples should stay together for the sake of the children? That's the topic tonight?
Yes.
I can't speak for everybody, but yeah, see, my parents grew up, they had us at a very early age, and, things hasn't always been very tight with them as well. So, I mean, as far as should they, I would say, like, they made it work, but I wouldn't say they were right for each other, okay, because they didn't call each other all kinds of names, like out of their names and stuff like that. But they're one of the like rare people I know that actually stood together for us, and I mean, they get along with each other. So I mean, those are like this is the only situation I could speak on behalf of because I also watch kids grow up when their parents actually split and stuff like that. So I mean, I wouldn't say if anybody should stay together for the kids. All I'm saying is my parents did that. They managed to make it work, but it's kind of obvious that they wasn't for each other. So I mean, that's all I wanted to say about that.
What made it obvious to you?
Dollar
What made it obvious
bills,
that they're
y'all.
not for each other?
Yes.
I'm just it's like just the argument, just the extent that it goes to. Because it's like every argument they threaten each other to leave and stuff like that, and it's always like they leave for like a couple hours and they come back. I mean, this is like growing up. I mean, over the years, they gotten completely better. They found better ways to make it work. But that's just my opinion. I wouldn't say they were for each other. What I will say is that if they waited and gotten to know each other, then maybe they wouldn't be for each other. I mean, it sucks to say that, but I mean, it's just the reality of what I've watched growing up.
And so, the small arguments and altercations and saying that I'm going to leave. Appreciate the love, 335. It's all of a sudden got chilly in here. So you feel like that's what kind of, do you symbolize that they're not for each other, or do you think that it could just be moments of frustration where they just might not want to be around the other person in that moment?
I mean, there's a lot of details that I chose not to go into, but I mean, small stuff like that, calling each other. I mean, a lot of stuff that I don't think they would say to somebody they really love. But like I say, this is like growing up. Like, here's the thing. It's stuff that I wouldn't have said to a significant other while raising children as young as I was, and as young as my siblings was, and all that stuff, just to say stuff like that in front of kids. I mean, you can't really say that you will speak to somebody you claim you love in front of children like that. But it's not even to put them in a bad light. Like they are great people. They were great parents growing up. I mean, it was a struggle, and they made it work. So I'm not trying to put them in a bad light. I'm just saying. I think they were. I kind of think they had us before they really got like within years of knowing each other. All I'm saying is they could have waited to actually get to know each other. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that without trying to be too nosy. So we'll just leave it there.
Oh, you good? I don't even mind, Andrew. I don't even mind.
So how long did your parents know each other before they procreated? The rest of the Love family.
It's about 2 years.
About 2
and
years.
They were teenagers as well. I think they met in middle school, and then within 2 years, here we are. Well, here I was. But I'm just trying to answer the question of should people stay for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I can't speak for everybody's situation. I can only tell you from what I experienced and nothing. How my parents did things.
Okay. So,
That's just about it.
but from the way they did it to your opinion, so you think that people should or shouldn't? I mean, do you think there's a deal breaker? I mean, so like, what is D-Love? I mean, from your experiences, and I know you said from what you've seen, but do you think that is true?
Yeah, can you you kind of breaking up. Can you repeat the question?
I'm saying from your experiences, and I know that's what you've seen growing up, but do you absolutely feel like that's the best way to do it, to try to find a way to work around it, or do you think the kids fare off better, if the parents are solo?
Yeah, if they can work around it and make it work, then I'll say go for it. Try to make it work. But like I said, I also experienced people that just didn't make it work and decided to go their separate ways. As far as how my parents did it, working like staying there for the kids would be a good idea, but I don't know. Like I couldn't deal with arguing with someone in front of the kids,
before you
calling
judge
them
a
out their name,
man.
cursing
Walk
them
a
out,
mile in his
threatening
shoes.
to leave,
After that, who
telling the
cares?
children to
He's a
their
mile
faces that I'm
away,
going to leave
and
your
you've
father
got
or your
his
mother and
shoes.
stuff like that. I don't think I personally could deal with that. But yeah, like I said, they made it work.
Do you think their staying together had an impact on you, though, the way you view relationships?
Say it again?
I said, by them, making it work and staying together, do you think that had an impact on the way that you currently view relationships?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the first time I do things differently, but yeah, this did kind of shape the way I view stuff. And a lot of other stuff as well.
Do you think in a positive or a negative way?
I would say in a positive way. I mean, I looked at their mistakes, and then I learned from it.
Okay. All right. No problem with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I just wanted to spill a little thought on that.
All right, D-Love. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man, and sharing your thoughts with us, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, have a good evening. Shout out to D-Love, man. Before you judge a man, walk a mile in his shoes. After that, who cares? A mile away, and you got his shoes. Oh man, what if like? So like, if you're walking a mile in his shoes, do you like get to take his shoes and then your shoes also? Cause like, what if you got like better shoes, right? Or what if like, it's like your favorite pair of shoes? So I don't know. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It was worth me calling back for a second call.
Okay.
I was thinking about this. My generation, we stayed together longer for probably more toxic reasons. But the other question should be is how many parents stay together that are, I don't want to say spiritually one, but attend some sort of religious, cultural thing, because it doesn't have to be Christian. They could be Jewish, they could be Muslim or whatever, versus those that don't.
Ooh. That's interesting. That's actually very cool.
And the reason I say that is that, I mean, my parents were married for a long time. My aunt and uncle just celebrated 50 years. I've got one that celebrated 60 years. But they were all in the church together. And like my generation and younger, that they do not go to church or they don't go to some sort of religious organization, they tend to not. It doesn't mean it's not personal to anybody, it's just looking at it from a different angle. And the other thing is why is it when we have men watch their kids, they like to call it babysitting their own kids when they're just watching their own kids? I've heard women say, oh, my husband's going to babysit his kids. Well, they're married, so they're your kids, they're his kids. And why would they be babysitting unless they're split up, but they're not?
Yeah, that's something that kind of bothers me too. I've heard that used when the fathers are having the kids, the dad's babysitting. It's just a misconception. But I think part of it is just kind of the way society favors. I won't say, but it does when it comes to children and relationship. It favors towards the women, but like maybe it's that subtle thing that women have more rights over the kids than men. So it's with the dad, it's just a babysitting, and to the woman's her child or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's how society. I think it's weird though. Like I don't care for it because again, like I said, it takes two to tango. They're just as much as kids as anybody else.
It goes back to that old women are the nurturer. Well, I know that there are plenty of men who have custody of their kids these days. And they're parenting. They're doing both the nurturing and the financial raising. So I just find that a bit not cool. But again, like I was saying, is in fact, Big M, him and his wife, they've been together a really long time, but they go to church all the time. So it makes you wonder if some of the bullshit in relationships is kind of cut out when there's a religious connection. I don't know, it's just a thought throwing that out there. But it all seems to be part of clarifying communications, too.
I agree. I think that you mentioned the religious thing. I wonder if it does have an impact. I would think it would.
I don't know. Like I said, the couple that my aunt and uncle that have been together for 50 years, they were married at 16 and 17, and they're still together. And I don't know. I think that people. All right, I don't want to be judgmental.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I think certain situations that we lead with something other than communication, and I'm not saying it has to do with sex. It has to do with getting a need met to be in a relationship, and that's either the male or female. But the reason that we stay are for more than just a hit it or quit it reason. But marriage, when you look at that commitment, it's like being two CEOs. It was actually something interesting that you had talked about last night, too, is that, at least in my opinion, I don't always see people communicate, the ones that have been broken up or get divorced, looking back is like, as we always say, hindsight's 20/20. But what I see in a lot of those things is that what I've heard them say is that they never really sat down to figure out where they were connected, where the balance was between them, where the communication was, and communication was one of the biggest things. A lot of you young folks, it's hard to say because you just don't have a lot of that experience behind you. It doesn't mean you're not going to. But sometimes couples go through things that it can either make them or it can break them completely apart. And sometimes it has nothing to do with them. The loss of a child will split a couple up. It doesn't always have to be infidelity. It doesn't always have to be, there has to be a fissure in the relationship. And the more toxic it is, the less people should be together. And again, keeping kids out of adult relationships is one of the most healthiest things we can do for our children. By not letting them know everything that's going on in our mind's eye to push them either towards or against the other parent, because our kids aren't toys in the relationship. And I've seen that happen too many damn times. And that bothers the hell out of me. When one parent will use the child in order to go against the other parent. I see that happening far too often.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Yeah, and again, that's when you. I think that has a like. Excuse me. Good grief. Like Dakota was mentioning about the mental impact on it. I think that's also a contributing factor to kids having issues when they become the pawns in between their parents, kind of, little games or whatever when they do split. So I agree with that. Not trying to turn one kid against their parents. I mean, they should love both of them equally.
Yep. You get into that marriage, that's your responsibility to get out of it, and keeping the kids the least messy as possible, because they're going to be the next generation. All right, that's pretty much all I had to say on my second count.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling back in, Miss Bell, and follow up. But that's actually a really good point. The religion thing. We might have to do a little poll or something, see what we can come up with that ties to that.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat thought. All right. See who's next.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Miss Bell. You have a good evening.
All right, you too. Good night.
Good night. Let me see something. Oh, Josephine, Johnny. Some things are very, very funny. Let me make sure I have this all together. So let's do this like this, I guess would be the best way. But for those asking, to get the green name and the badge, the DN badge next to it, and it should be the same on the phone. If you click the little super chat button, it should give you like 3 options. And it should be super chat, super sticker, and then join. And on the join, there's like I said, there's 4 different tiers starting at $1.99. And if you want, like I say, the green membership name and the custom emojis, then it's such a weird word, emoji. And the custom emojis, then you sign up for the $1.99 tier or higher, and you will have access to that. The higher tiers have some other perks and benefits of being a member. If you're a Patreon supporter, a lot of them are similar. So I would say, unless you just want the custom emojis and, like saying, the badge next to your name, if you're a Patreon supporter, I wouldn't necessarily go overboard. But yeah, there's that. Wow, they didn't go to the same church. That's terrible. They come home arguing with each other about whatever they learned that day or whatever they heard that day. So there's that. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Man, it's your boy Roman.
Roman, how are you doing this evening, Mr. Roman?
Man, I'm doing great. How about you, Honcho?
I'm doing good. Life is good, man. No complaints, Mr. Roman.
That's great. Honcho, I'm proud of you, man. I'm really proud of you because I know when we was going through the draft, I was looking at your shirt. Correct me if I'm wrong. You had the interesting shirt on.
Did I? Did I have that shirt on? Yes, I.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I may have.
I like it. Well, my suggestion. Yeah. Well, the topic that we'll be talking about, well, I'll say this, Honcho. If the couple staying together, the male and female, staying together with kids, it's going to end up harming the kids, especially in the future, you know what I mean, or even at the current state they're at, just don't do it. Because you're in my opinion, you're damaging their future, how they can perceive relationships, you know what I mean? Because, kids understand and they learn everything from their parents and their role models and who they look up to, you know what I mean? And they see, okay, if my mom and my dad is doing this, then I should do this, you know what I mean? And you don't realize the lasting effects that can go from being a kid to being an adult and still suffering through those problems because that's what all you know. You get what I mean? And I mean, like I said, all means if you can work on your relationship with your significant other, try. You know what I mean? Because it's always, I think, not all the time, but most of the time, it's always best for a two people household. You get what I mean? Because in a relationship and with children, they need their mother and their father for different situations. You get what I mean? Male and female. And if y'all are having problems, but know y'all have the capability to work on those problems, I think work at it all you can. You get what I mean? But like I said, if y'all arguing or fighting, anything is, you get what I mean? Not just hurting yourself and your significant other, but your children, and you know it's affecting them. You get what I mean? It's no point in doing that. You know, so you just don't know what that can lead. You know, it might not affect the kid right now as you know it. But you don't know 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You get what I mean? What's that effect of arguing, fighting, and abuse, and just, you know, dysfunction that can happen. You know, one thing is, no family is perfect. Every family has a form of dysfunction, some more than others. But I think you understand what dysfunction I mean by Honcho, the arguing, the fighting, all that. You get what I mean? So when you have so much of that, I think there's no point being together. You know what I mean? Co-parent, try to have a good relationship. I know some people have different relationships with their children's significant other, but that's what I would say.
So you feel like it's best to, once you know that it's done, to just go ahead and separate so that the kids are not involved in seeing those frequent tiffs. But what I mean, what if you can have an amicable relationship? What if you say, hey, what if it's not a hateful thing that occurred? What if you just say, you know what, I'm not feeling you like I used to, you're not feeling me like we used to, but we got the kids, we want to keep a stable household for them. What if a situation like that? What if there's no negative that just made it seem like, oh, well, I hate you for this, so we got to split?
Well, if it's a relationship like that, nobody should be unhappy. You get what I mean? And if you know that it's not working, even if y'all do have a good relationship, but if there's no love there, or no just emotion there, you know what I mean? It's no, you shouldn't make yourself unhappy just to, be there for the kids. You can always be there for your kids. You can't be unhappy because then you don't know what emotions that can rail to you when you're unhappy. You do and say a lot of things you wouldn't say when you are happy. You get what I mean? So if it's like that, I still think, you get what I mean, just, find a place and y'all can separate, but you gotta break it down. Make them understand it. You're not going nowhere. I'm gonna be there. It's just we're separating. Something's not working out right now. So you can explain kids now at this age, they can start to grasp. Okay, now I know. You know what I mean? Than just I'm just walking out and I have no emotions here. I'm upset. I'm fed up. I'm just walking out. You get what I mean? So if you break that down, then while doing that, I think that can give the kids a better understanding of, how to understand the situation going on. Like I say, I don't got kids. I don't understand. I'm just going off of what I have seen, what I have went through. So it might change when I have kids, but that's my opinion, and that's what I perceive would happen.
Okay, I can't fault that. So I'm seeing it seems like most people are leaning towards if it's not something to work out, that you should cha-cha slide. Okay.
Yeah, man, that's my call, man. Hey, look, man, I'm it's great. In Discord, she was like, people with 30 minutes call, say name. We're talking about this. So I'm cutting short. I'm cutting it. Simple tonight. So that's all you're going to hear from me. And I said, man, have a good night.
All right, Mr. Roman, I appreciate your call, man.
Man, anytime.
All right, have a good one. That's funny. That is very funny. Okay, a couple of things. And no, Patreon supporters, I have not forgot about y'all. So shout out to the Patreon supporters. I do truly appreciate y'all. I don't know. I just don't plug everything like every day. I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know people say, "Oh, Honcho, you got to do it." That's what the other streamers do, and other. I don't know, man. I don't be plugging all that shit like that. Like, yes, it's absolutely cool. I absolutely do appreciate it. But I don't want to run down each and everything every night. Well, sign up here, do this, sign up here, and go. I think it's like, if I remember, like, hey, check this out. I think this is pretty cool. Like the membership things, I think is pretty cool. I think the custom emojis are very neato. But so it's just kind of like where it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't really want to overdo it. You feel me? So. If I think about it, hey, if you want to support, go here, go there, or sign up for Patreon, or whatever it may be. And I need to do that too. I need to expect a Patreon message early this week because I gotta do some things. The Denline and the Patreon, but. Say it doesn't give you an option to join. I don't know. Like I said, it should be two things. It should be two places. Like I know if you go to the main channel, like if you're just looking at the regular channel page, I know I've seen it there because I was changing up my. I think I was changing my playlist or something today, and I saw it. Like there's like a regular button that's like in blue letters that says join, and then like I said, you click the little like the little $ super chat button thingy at the bottom. Oh, that's. But I wonder if I don't have an option to join on mine because of the on my own account. Let me see. But I think when I get on my other account on the other phone, fucking Heidi. But yes. I'm saying, I thought it was the same, but like I said, because I know you should be able to do it from the mobile app. I was looking at it the other day, trying to figure it out, so I guess I can give better explanations. I guess it helps to be able to explain things. Yeah, I know on the mobile app, if you go to the home page of the Den, it has like a little button under the title, but let's see what happens when you get in the chat. Not the top chat, live chat, please. Can't see, it shows up on here. I guess because it's on a different, I guess because I'm on a different account. Since Shay said you realize you're becoming a simp. Oh man, hey, I don't know. It depends. I don't know what your age range is, but I think I don't even know what a simp is anymore because it got so broad. Roy Chess was saying everything was simping, so I don't know if my definition is even accurate anymore. You got a female friend you ain't smashed, you might be simping. Everything was simpery. Yesterday I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, God damn, have y'all really upgraded the terminology since I last checked? What? Strippers at a house party in Chicago. What, Rashida didn't invite us? That's terrible. Yeah, definitely follow Jay Portrait on the gram, dog. Very artistic, very talented young man. So definitely check him out. I think it's just like that, like at Jay. Well, if you want to plug yourself, Jay, put your gram in there. Oh, word. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause here's the thing with that. Let me make sure I ain't missing nobody call before I go on a rant. Because here's the thing with that, right? Like, most of us, and I'm not saying everybody does, some people have good, clean, wholesome families. But we know if we have some sketchy family members, right? And we know 9 times out of 10, if something goes wrong, 9.9 times out of 10, if something goes wrong in their life, it is probably their fault. Because they're just that kind of person that trouble is attracted to. But because that's our family member, we'll like go to bat for them, or we'll, try to give them the benefit, even though we know, but like, if that was anybody else not related to us, we wouldn't fuck with that person. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's kind of what I mean. When you get caught up in activities for people like that, yeah. Was the landlord's son? Oh, that's crazy. That's super crazy. That's 25. Oh, okay. Now you got to wait at least 7 more years before you can start sipping. Heidi added you, but don't. I'm warning you. If you see anything that resembles a twerk video, delete, block, avoid at all costs. Many of us are just now recovering through an incident. It took place a few months back. But like, so, okay, hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Who do we have joining us this evening?
You know who it is. Okay.
I have no idea who this is. The name or the voice sounds vaguely familiar.
Hang up, you don't know who it is. Nah. Yeah.
Terrible. Okay. So, Miss Rashid, I heard that you threw a party in Chicago.
You heard a lie. Them dumb ass idiots, all them gonna have corona. Gonna be in Cook County Hospital.
So you think all the people gonna
And
spread
it
it?
wasn't no thousand people like they said, about 100 something, 150.
See about
They
one.
always lying on Chicago. It was about 150.
About 150
Yeah.
at a house party.
It was a big house.
Interesting. Okay. So what time you left the party?
I ain't there invited me.
Why you ain't get
Everybody
it?
all gonna be wrong.
Oh, okay. Since they ain't invited you, they gonna get the Rona. Okay. But why? I mean, do you think people just not care?
They checked your temperature before you got in there.
Oh, they checked temperature before you got in?
Right, but you had to pass your temperature check. So everybody in there to do it.
So they
Nobody gonna have them on.
so they had little forehead scanners?
No, you had to bring your own thermometer to show when you didn't have no fever.
Really? That sounds like a terrible fucking party. But I guess, you gotta do what you gotta.
I'm just talking to y'all.
I would hope not. I was just like, man, look, if you gotta do all that to go party, you gotta stay your ass at home. What happened?
It's a job. Different jobs have scanners. You go walk through the scanners and you check your body temperature.
Yeah.
To see how your food feels before you can enter the building.
Yeah. Cool.
Hey, that's the future, I guess.
Yeah, but like you said, it's a thing that checks your body temperature. Like, but what if you just like came from running or something like that?
Well, your ass better go sit down and have you a cool drink before you go to work.
I'm just saying,
You gotta put the ice on. Ice yourself down.
Do you think that it is a good idea? Because a lot of places are starting to get back in action. Do you think that's a good idea?
No. They sued my governor, one idiot, and they let him do what he wanted to do. But somebody else trying to make it for everybody. Don't speak to me, governor. I'm perfectly fine, right? Let the hell on. I didn't do it.
Okay.
I don't mess with the Rona, and Rona don't mess with me.
Rona outside waiting on you. Rona knocking at the door, waiting, sitting on the steps.
And that's right, when you come from my house, you get lights off every day.
That's terrible. That's a terrible, terrible thing. So,
well, ain't nobody asking me to come over here.
we know if you're lonely and you have no.
I ain't lonely. Look, I was lonely before Rona. I'm gonna be lonely after Rona.
But people got to come check on you. They got to do them those wellness checks.
They got FaceTime. They got all kinds of shit. You check on me through FaceTime. Hello, how you doing? Keep it moving. I'm good. They got phones for. Mm-hmm. Live, Cam, everything. Yep. I'm good. Mm-hmm. I ain't got to open the door all the way. I can peek out. You see I'm alive. We good. Hey, goodbye.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on people staying together for the kids? Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Just Sarah donated $2 through
I
Super
think you
Chat.
should do what
Tell
works for your
Rashida to sing
household.
for
Your
Coulthard.
household,
See no
hey,
evil
it works for
monkey.
them.
Smiley
Your
face.
parents get
Smiley
along
face.
fine. They the kids well adjusted. But then you have other relationships where it's not gonna work because they toxic. The parents are toxic for each other. Um, they setting a bad example for the kids. Verbal abuse, domestic violence, all that kind of shit. It's not good for your kids to see because either they copy it or they do the opposite of it. And what you don't want is the kids to emulate their behavior.
Eastside Harold donated $2 through Super Chat. You know what FaceTime is really for.
And appreciate the love, Miss Jess Sarah and Eastside. Yes, I know what FaceTime really for. Miss Rashida, you feel like singing a song?
Y'all really want me to sing?
I
Because I
mean,
was singing earlier. My message wasn't accepted.
test it. You wanna? How would you like to sing a song to Mr. Culture?
Fuck him.
Well, it's terrible. But
I was already set to go. Then you gonna say some bullshit like that? Don't play with me.
well, look, there was one night I thought
Now,
that
why you trying to instigate? Why you trying to instigate?
I thought there was a thing
You know,
happening.
my click clap.
I thought we
We
had
on
crossed
the
some
side of the
boundaries.
bed.
I thought we had,
No, we ain't
I
talking.
thought we had kind of
We
moved some
on his side
borders.
of the bed, and I'm on my side of the bed. We don't intertwine. I don't be in the chat. I don't talk to him. I don't look his direction. I don't speak on him. He don't speak on me. We gotta understand, and that's how it's gonna stay.
I really thought we had made some
Ain't no
progress a
peace.
while back.
Ain't gonna be no peace. No, ain't no progress. Ain't gonna be no peace.
Hmm.
So you can't get that out your head. Ain't no peace.
Well, it's
Ain't no
2020. I mean,
reconciliation.
can we move?
Now, I don't give a damn if it's 2025, 2030, 2050. Fuck them to infinity and beyond. Now, why you trying to get me upset?
No,
Everybody else called was cool and shit, and then you want to stop with me.
okay. Well, what if we change the recipient? What if it's for New York John?
Oh, okay, John, what you want to hear? Yeah, I say anything John want to hear, but I know that's my home. I
Okay.
like John.
Okay. Um. Well, John, your request is on the
Well,
table.
whatever happened to karaoke night?
That's what I'm saying. Now, here's my thing with karaoke night, and I was trying to debate if, and I guess we need to make a decision soon. So I was trying to debate if to take karaoke night to the Discord, where you don't have to worry about any kind
Hell
of
no.
banning and everything. And I
Hell
think
no.
you get it a little bit clearer. I think everybody can kind of get in the way they want to get in, and then, well, sometimes people are a little off because we've had some sing-alongs in there from time to time. But I don't know. We'll see. Because like I say, YouTube, it gets kind of funky with the things. When I go back and edit it, it messes up the chat and some other stuff sometimes. So we'll see. John says, let's sing Let's Stay Together from Al Green.
Who?
By Al Green.
Let's stay together. Oh. Al, be disappointed with you right now.
Mm. Mm. gonna give you a pass on now. This time we just we go. Let's not and say we did.
All
All right, that'll work. Okay.
right. Anybody behind the call? Because I don't want people saying, you get Rashida the best privileges.
Because I'll be biased towards Miss Rashida. You know, you get the bonus love. Let me see something here. That's terrible though. So, but you think people should remain apart, and it's not the concern of the children?
I think it's a selfless act when you try to stay together for the kids because you couldn't make it together for long. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you're not damaging them in the process.
So you think that even though the attempt may to be to hold things together for the kid, but at the same time it could be a situation where you still have a negative impact.
Yeah, because like I said, the kid might emulate that behavior, that toxicity, like that domestic violence, that verbal abuse. And the young women might think that's how men supposed to treat a woman. And the young men might think that's how you treat a woman. That's something you don't want. You don't want to perpetuate that kind of cycle within your family of domestic violence.
But what if it's the woman that's the domestic abuser and the verbal violence?
It doesn't matter.
You don't think that changes a child's perception?
Huh?
Do you think that changes a child's perception in any way?
That's a good question. Like if I saw my mother beating on my father, I would like to probably help her.
Wait, what? Terrible. So you would help your mother beat up
Just
your father.
Sarah donated $2 through
Yeah.
Super Chat. Rashida the Honcho the main Sancho shirts are here.
Appreciate it, love. Just Sarah. And why is that? Why would you assist your mother in assaulting your father?
Because the men are stronger than women by nature.
So simply because he's stronger, he deserves to be jumped.
Huh?
So simply because he's stronger, he deserves to be jumped.
Well, if he had started it, I mean, I'm quite sure, it wouldn't escalate to that extent, What you think I'm just supposed to sit there and do it? Watch?
I mean, I'm just wondering, what if he didn't start? I feel like all the guilt is being played. What if he was just minding his own business and watching Bonanza or some shit, and mama come in there and just haul off and sock him upside the head, start putting them hands on him, and she really already got the upper hand. You just gonna jump in and help her continue to have the upper hand?
Like she just slapped him for no reason. That what you said?
Yeah, what if she was just mad about something? She just took it out on him.
Well, if she slapped him on the right side, I just slap him on the left side. You need to know better next time. Don't make people mad.
Okay.
That's how we roll.
That's fucked up. Okay. Well, not to be a man around the Reed household, you're gonna get your ass jumped.
Right.
Mm, okay.
Well, at least you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Act
I,
accordingly.
yeah,
Act accordingly.
I
If
just
you
use
see
social
one
distancing when I come get my side
thing,
man sandwich. That's how that'll work. Um,
if you act accordingly, you won't have no problem. We peaceful people.
I find that hard to believe, but okay. Well, you have any other thoughts as
Oh,
far as
see, there you go again.
what?
See, see, there you go.
What? No,
You always
I was
try to
saying that
be
I find it
positive.
hard to believe that anybody would give you problems. That I could never
No,
imagine
that's
that
what
somebody
you
would
said.
do such a thing.
Mhm.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Okay, that's what you saying now. That ain't what you was saying a minute ago. You be twisting and turning.
I don't think that's not my style. I don't think I'm pretty straightforward, and that's just the way we go.
No, you're not. No. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Hot Helga, you say, Heidi. Interesting. Okay.
Tell her to shut up. I can't stand that whole either. Invisible ass. She don't need to speak when I'm talking anyway. I still don't like your ass.
Ah, there was an alley oop. I didn't take the slam dunk. I'm gonna leave it though. Okay.
Why you trying to get me started? I
I'm
came in peace tonight.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just enjoying my tea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had
Mm-hmm.
a
What kind of tea you drinking?
what kind of tea I'm drinking? What is this? Some type of it's called something Zen. But it's got like I said, some type of green tea mixture thing in there.
Oh, Canadian tea.
Yeah, yeah. So just to give me an evening boost. Not too much caffeine, so that way I ain't too wired up when I get off the street. I can actually take my ass to bed. So
That's what they always, and then go ahead and be up in the Discord and everything, yeah.
I'm trying to get back on schedule. So
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Right.
mhm, yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, is there anything else that is on your mind, Miss Rashida? Is there, as far as kids involved in relationships or whatever reasons may be for sustaining a relationship?
Nope, I think I said everything on the subject that I wanted to say. And
Yep.
other stuff I shouldn't have said, but I said it anyway, so it is what it motherfucking is.
Okay, okay. Well, that's a bit. Well, Miss Rashida, as always, it is wonderful to hear from you, and I'm glad you called in. You have, have a good evening. Hmm.
Who said something in the chat?
Huh? What happened?
What they say?
No, I didn't
What
say
they
that.
said in the chat?
I was.
You know somebody said yo that ha 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 yeah okay.
That was. I thought you said, of course it is. So when you were referring to me,
Somebody else when I get in the chat, watch.
mm, no, you gonna set it off. It's going down.
Yeah, I'm set this shit off for real. It's going down.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Miss Rashida. I will talk to you soon.
Oh, you know what I want to tell you? Since you got these new emojis and everything,
Mm-hmm.
when a person gets three of them hang up emojis, you need to hang the phone up. That's what you need to do.
So you're saying that it should be used as a voting system?
Yeah.
And so if three different,
Three strikes leave you out.
okay, so if three individuals say hang up, then it should be out. Okay.
Might have to be three different individuals.
Hmm.
But I have immunity, so that shit don't work on my call. I hang up when I want to hang up.
So it's supposed to work on
I
everybody,
got
but
the immunity item.
okay, everybody.
Right.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm gonna have to look at this whole.
Right, what's the point of having the emoji if they not gonna mean nothing?
Okay. Uh, that is yeah. I think three. I also agree with 335. Three is nobody's gonna get a phone call in. That shit gonna get everybody gonna get canceled quickly. But we'll come up with something. I
But you
think
got to pay for the emoji when you send it, right?
what happened.
You got to pay for the emoji when you send it, don't you?
No, what happens is like when you become a member, like you can use them unlimited, but it's just like whatever tier you get on, then you have access to them. So like if you get on like 199, then you have unlimited emojis after that.
Oh, okay. Okay. And also, the thing about the Den logo,
Mm-hmm.
what I think is that you need to have somebody to redesign it with a little more color in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have like a little competition and the winner get pistachios or something.
So you
That's
think
just my thought.
so you think the Den logo should be redesigned by the actual Den folk?
Of course.
Hmm.
There's some talented people in the Den. And some talented lurkers too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they can come up with something.
I agree. I agree. Very talented.
That makes it even more special for a logo of the Den to be designed by a denizen or a den folk or whatever the hell y'all want to call y'allself.
Hmm. Okay.
You know, it makes it more personal.
That is definitely something to consider. That's actually a very good idea.
I always have good ideas. What you mean? That's a good
well,
idea.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we don't know when you have good ideas because you be sharing your good ideas with other groups and other communities because you be leaving us and abandoning us, so we don't know.
Oh, so you gonna bring that up, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we still talk about old stuff,
I'm gonna throw half of my pistachio back up and you to a fat so he is.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's all good. I'm gonna pick them up though. I'm gonna reuse them. I'm gonna do something.
You gonna pick them up and throw them back at me?
I'm gonna save them. They're gonna be good for something.
Oh, whatever. Well, I think that's it for me now.
Okay.
Did you have anything else?
No, ma'am. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, Mr. Honcho, you have a good evening and finish the tea and go to bed.
Yes, ma'am, and you also. I appreciate you calling in.
And good night, Sarah. All right, I'm gone.
All right, you have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bro. It's actually very intriguing, and see a few people saying that they would be interested. Okay, I mean, let's throw some ideas out there. Cause like I said, I have some. I got a couple of different ideas, but like I say, my situation is paralysis by analysis, doing too much instead of just picking something and going with it. But like I said, this is a community, and so I think taking a few ideas and putting it to a vote would not be bad either. That's a very interesting consideration. What the fuck is going on here? Oh wow, that's terrible. Yes, some of the things that the y'all are, oh man, hilarious. Should tell him to call the Den. So tell him he got a new number. Tell him to call the Den number. We'll talk to him live from Atlanta. That'll be very interesting. Oh, terrible. See, yeah, it's kind of like I said, look, I can't help it. Well, I can, I guess. I'd have to be a little bit hotter, so I guess I could cut the thing off. But yeah, it comes on whenever it wants to. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll definitely come up with something and get it all together. Like I said, it's just been a lot of things off behind the scenes that have been going on. So hopefully within the next, I don't know when, but soon. They will share some good news. We'll see how everything plays out. But my thing is this. So what I'm what I'm coming across. Ooh, excuse me, pardon me, I apologize. And it seems like most people feel as though, you know, that if the relationship is going sour, that you should you should call it a wrap because in the new plans, loud fan, no, we'll not have a loud fan. I'm gonna figure out something to do with the venting because it's the way things are set up. Every angle is bad because I think if I turn, then you probably actually get more fan. Yeah, because anyway, you'd actually be closer to it, or more vent. Then if I turn the other way, that's no good. Too much stuff in the background. So I don't know. Scotty, who knows where Scotty is? But yeah, that's what I wonder if Scotty would stay like in one spot ever, or even if he actually, Scotty don't really fuck me. Like I said, I should I'm gonna do a Scotty cam. Just have a secondary camera focused on Scotty, but he don't ever sit still. Like he don't even fucking get in his own bed or anything like that. So he's a terrible co-host. So that would be hilarious. You call in, and be like, yeah, hey, how's it going? And a live inquiry of this person live on the den. Oh, that's a bad idea. It's a 13-mile bike ride. Okay. I went for absolutely no walk today. So that's all the juice I got. So Miss Cardi, how are things out in Vegas? I mean, are things becoming more accessible? Or hold on one second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's up, Honcho? How you been, bro?
Oh, young Kenneth, how are you, Mr. Kenneth, sir?
I've been straight, bro. I've been straight. Damn, it's been a minute since I called in, bro. I had to call in, you know what I'm saying? I kind of missed the den.
You just dropped a broom?
Nah, this is decoration that's in the house. Nothing major.
Okay, well, it should have been a broom you dropped because you just set it to the side from cleaning up, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be around the house just bullshitting away because you ain't got to go to school. You can be cleaning up, helping out, keeping things clean. With the movies, I don't know, the movies ain't bad. Oh, that's what the fuck I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay, we'll talk about that after this. But go ahead, go ahead, Mr. Ken.
Nah, what's up? What was you trying to say?
We were talking about relationships. Do you think that people should stay together for the sake of the children, even if it's not if they're not happy in a relationship?
Nah, I don't think so. Like, especially being a man, like, I don't believe you should compromise, you know, your happiness. Let's say that, for example, you know, any type of, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Any type of cheating occurs. I don't believe that. Let's say that your woman cheated on you during the marriage. I mean, you might as well take the L, you know, and just go on about your business, even if the kids are involved. You know, that'll work out. You know, maybe with co-parenting or something like that. But to stay in this, you know, to just stay in a marriage where you're getting cheated on every other week and just coming back home acting like everything is okay for the kids, like, no, I don't know, because I've seen it happen to a few of my uncles. Like, dog, that's a miserable life to live.
What the fuck?
Yeah, definitely.
Terrible.
Yeah, and I just can't stand them just you being as a grown man, just sitting there being miserable for the kids. Like, you're not even being yourself, like, and you ought to want to just get out of the situation that you're in. I mean, that's what I would do personally. But I mean, there's a lot of men that just stay in it for the kids. But me personally, I wouldn't do it. But it just happens like that. But I don't recommend anyone to just do that. You know what I mean?
So you think that it's just better to be more focused on your own happiness, and the kids will just have to deal with it?
Yeah, because I mean, I haven't been in a situation, so it's up to me to just give my 2 cents in it. But from the outside looking in, that's what I would probably do. Gotta work out a way because your kids ain't even gonna be happy if you do that. Yeah, so it's like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad.
Alrighty. Um. Okay, and so you figure that they don't, and I get it. I guess your logic makes sense. But what if it's not necessarily?
My bad.
What if it's because that's what I notice people tend to go through. With something traumatic. What if it's just one of those cases where people just kind of fall out of love? They're not necessarily. They're not necessarily a single incident that caused them to fall out. They just don't think that they want to spend the rest of their future together. But everything else is good. They're still friends. Should they still try to make it work and then separate? Or what do you think about a situation like that?
I mean, in that case, I think you should, of course, get the clear the air up with your partner or whatever, and then, still try to work out a way for the kids to just, get to see both of their parents, because you don't want to raise a broken family at the same time. You know what I mean? But at the same time, your happiness matters. You know what I mean? So, because if you're not happy, your kids are gonna suffer regardless. So
That is true. I think
that's
it's
how.
a little trickle down effect. Okay. All right. I don't know. Anything else that is on your mind? Any other thoughts that you have with the staying together for the kids
Nah,
situation?
man, nah. I just want to really just call in because it's probably been fun. I really just called into the show.
Mm. Well,
So
we're glad that you called in, Mr. Ken, to check in and let everyone know that you are a-okay.
yeah, no, shit was kind of looking dark earlier because I had kind of lost my job, but not really because of this Corona stuff. But ended up finding a better one, so
Oh, okay.
it all just kind of worked out for me at the same time.
Well, that's well,
Like initially, I was looking like, damn, I just lost all this bread because spring break and movies. A lot of movies were supposed to come out. I was gonna work hella hours, make my money, but we closed down before spring break. Well, while spring break was getting started, and I'm like, damn, I was angry. And I'm sitting there like, man, because that money, I was trying to use that money to start my own stuff that I was trying to do. I was trying to start like a little sneaker business, just making shoes or whatever. But I was mad. I'm like, damn, bro, I just lost all this bread. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't gonna be a whole lot, of course, because fucking working entry level jobs really don't pay like that. But something is better than nothing. I just wanted to start that. And as soon as I found that we were gonna close, I'm just like, damn.
So where's the new gig?
Huh?
So where's the new gig?
Say what again?
The new gig, the new job.
Oh, Chipotle. You know what I'm saying? For the start, it's pretty close to where I already work at. You know, I actually had a homie that actually hooked it up for me because mom works there or whatever. Super cool dude. And I'm like, and he put me on. He was like, hey, bro, I can get you a little job at Chipotle. And I was like, word. He was like, word. And I was like, word. And they actually pay like $4 more than my regular job. So
Oh,
it all
that's
kind of
right.
ended up working out worse. It ended up working out pretty much way better for me. They got shorter hours, better benefits, so it all kind of worked out, in the long run.
So y'all need a burrito plug. Y'all already know who to holler at, man. Ken got the plug. What's that? World no, that's Freebirds is World Burrito. What's Chipotle slogan? I don't know. I
Free
forgot.
versus nasty. Don't buy free versus that shit. Terrible.
Freebirds is not terrible.
Freebirds, man.
Freebird, I never want Freebirds. Is it a Freebird or is that a Chipotle? It might be a fucking Chipotle. I don't even know. What it is. It might have been a Freebird, it might have been a Chipotle. Same shit. Hate to say Chipotle his ass. Oh man, that if I was Hispanic, I would be pissed off at Chipotle and fucking Freebirds. What's that other? There's like a third of burritos or something like that. I would be very angry. But you know, hey, it's America. Oh man, and that's you know what, Hector, you ain't lying. That's what made for the taco truck to open back up. This little taco truck used to be great, and ever since this shit been going on, the truck been parked, the little stand been parked there, but they haven't opened that bitch. But as soon as they do, you know, it's on. Okay, all right. Well, that's a bit, Mr. Kim. Well, I'm glad that you found a gig and everything is going well for you, sir, and you know that you hit the ground running.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, you be safe out there, Honcho. We don't need you. You know, we don't need you going back to that old place for a month and shit.
Yeah, we're gonna take another month vacation just to avoid the Rona, since they releasing everybody back in public. We'll take another vacation to the Rona blow over. All right, that's bad, man.
Hey, be safe, dog.
All right, you too, Mr.
I'm back.
All right, Mr. Oh man. Well, we ended on Kenneth tonight. It's a little rant that I want to go. I've never watched The Sopranos. Never, not ever. Let me see where we at. What was the last one did? Baker man, what's the motherfucking deal, man? I'm going to Asian as soon as I get a chance. I'm going to Asian food. Oh my God, some of these recent quotes have been very, very interesting. So, the thing I want to get into, and it is very loud. I had to take these fucking headphones off. It's extremely loud. The movie industry, right? The movie industry. So did you see that AMC said that they're no longer showing Universal movies? Like, what the fuck? Do you want to go out of business? They were mad, I guess, at the whole the Trolls thing, the Trolls movie, because it was released in theaters and basically they were released straight to home, and they still made like $95 million, I think, off of just like in-home streaming, right? So it's like, why would you basically, you know what I mean, what is it, cut off your nose to spite your face? Because you need all the movies you can get. I'm not saying that the movie theater industry was dying, but I think it is now. I think as soon as they show that there's an option to do that, people are not. You can't go backwards. So like, I don't know what people like with the theaters thought, because it's like, how are you gonna go back? Like, hey, we can stream this movie directly to your house. You don't have to go to the theater and watch it, and it was successful. Well, theaters are back open. We're not going to do this anymore. Really? So I just found another revenue stream where I can kind of, I guess you could say, bypass the middleman a little bit, dealing with movie theaters and such. So I would think it would be a lot more convenient. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. So you may want to watch whatever movies you can while you can. But they said that all the AMC's nationwide, they're not going to show any fucking Universal movies. And so I expect AMC to be out of business out of there pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is just like, shit. Even if you charge higher for a fucking movie, think about it. Like you said, say if you go on a date, you and your old lady to the movies, you're gonna spend a nice chunk of change. You're gonna spend. Again, depending on where you go, I like to go to the movie theaters where you can eat the food and they have drinks and all that other good shit. Like, I like those theaters. Depending on how much of a fat ass you want to be, if you want to get dessert, you're going to get appetizers, you're going to get the whole shebang, a couple of drinks, plus the tickets. Like, you can easily spend you could easily spend a couple $100 at the movies. Like, well, for two people, I don't think it should be like a couple hundred. It ain't that bad. The price ain't that bad. But you can spend 100 and some change at the movies if you go to one of those eateries or whatever. Or if you do it like you're supposed to, you take a chick with a big purse and then you make sure, you make sure that everything you need is inside the purse. And, you wait till everything, the screen goes dark, you're in a good section. Start pulling shit out your date's purse and not paying those high-ass movie prices. So, there's that. Bring your own popcorn and shit. And so you have more choices that way. But no, but like I say, I think seriously, like, the movie industry is fucking themselves. They don't make money off the ticket sales. Like, that's pretty much all Hollywood. Their whole thing is purely the atmosphere. So selling your sodas, your concessions, and all that shit like that is where they're making all their fucking money. And so if you're going to sit here and not give people an opportunity to come see movies, you're going to kill the crowds yourself. Like, you're going to go the fuck out of business. It is fucking crazy. So that's what you do. Yeah, man. So that's my thing. Like, it's crazy stuff, dog. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, keep all that fucking candy shit. There's no way. If you go get the popcorn, you better get the popcorn, and I better get these fucking refills. Like, I'm gonna get a refill, even if I don't want one, just because I bought this fucking $32 bag of fucking popcorn. It is what it is. You brought cakes. I have brought my own popcorn. Definitely all kind of various candies. I think that's about it. I don't think I've done stuff. What the fuck comes to this? I ain't even heard of this shit. So yeah. So I mean, like, now whenever things do open up, enjoy the movies while you can, because I think AMC, like I said, they're shooting themselves in the foot, and it won't be too much longer before they feel the effects of that. And it's funny because the reason they got mad is because I think the guy was in Forbes or Wall Street Journal, one of the heads of Universal, basically saying that, we're looking forward to starting to put movies out on both formats. So it wasn't even like he was saying that we don't want to put the movies out in the theaters anymore, but he's basically saying we want to put them out on both formats. So the theaters were just like, well, fuck you then. We don't want any share of this. We're gonna fuck ourselves over. It's like, it's stupid. So it is what it is. I don't know. 300 in snacks. Good Lord. So, but for 6 minutes, fuck that. To the Euro pork rinds, iced tea, beef jerky, and yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why you always gotta have a chick with a big purse. Being young, when I used to have fucking the big shorts, you fit all kind of shit in. But I think when women's purses, they already got so much junk in there. They don't, you don't hear the little odd little noises and shit. I mean, you just got your pockets. You can hear candy sloshing around in there and shit. So there's that. Oh yeah, alcohol is just the greatness. But oh shit, it's about that time, man. I fucks with y'all. Yes. That's more on 29th. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So we're back at it tomorrow. Same den time, same den channel. Shout out to the info. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Everybody with the green names. One day we're gonna have an asshole chat, because I think there's a way you can do a member only chat. So one day we're gonna have a chat, make everybody else suffer. We'll just talk to ourselves and be assholes. Nah, I ain't gonna do it like that. But I think outside of that, man, I just appreciate y'all, man. I really do. like I said, just some different things we got going on, and hopefully, like I said, in the next couple of weeks, hopefully I'll be able to talk more about some stuff. Let some things play out before I speak on them. So we'll see how they all work out. But man, I thank all of y'all for supporting. And oh no, you don't want the shirt off right now. You might want to again. Just like I said, another thing, if I want to wait a couple of weeks before I talk about this, that's in the same category. The shirt come on, like put it on, put it back on. Yeah, but with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I really do. It is my honor. It is my privilege. But most of all, excuse me, it is my pleasure to get to chop it up with y'all each and every night. Well, Monday through Fridays. And I just appreciate y'all being here. I thank y'all. I sincerely do. But with that being said, I'm Chuck Up a Deuce. Y'all ain't got to go home. We will be, I don't know if I'm going to be in Discord. I'm not going to lie to y'all tonight. I am pretty tired. But generally, people end up in the Discord. So if y'all hit the Discord, have a good time. I'm probably not going to be in there tonight. I'm not going to lie. I am tired. But I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Chuck Up a Deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I will catch y'all tomorrow in the den. With that being said, take a bite, Charlie. Terrible.